Hey, tonight on Toy Domination, Dom either takes a large bowel movement and or is having a baby. I'm not sure, but or he's having a baby. I don't know what's going on. He's not here tonight though. But instead, we have a nice guest, Ibrahim Moustafa. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Pretty good. We already did this backstage, but pretty
Yeah.
good.
I will say something I didn't say backstage. I'm just now realizing domination.
Uh,
So you learn something new
I
every
don't.
day.
It's not necessarily purposeful. It was just kind of something that he was like, that works.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I like it. I don't care. But a couple of years ago, we were at Joe Fest, which I also call Me Fest, but it's for GI
Right.
Joes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies was like, "You should call it Toy Domination or something like that." And I was like, "That's funny." So every once in a while, I put that down.
Yeah, when he's gone, especially you gotta
Yeah,
steal
especially when he's not here. Yeah, you gotta get my name out there somewhere, Oh, hey, Beta Ray Bob's here and Bjorn's here.
What's up? What's up?
So tonight we were gonna talk about a little SDC stuff, I guess, but also your customs and your sculpting and stuff. I know you just kind of started with the sculpting, so right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been sculpting like my whole life, but like digitally and
But digitally
or 3D
sculpting,
printing and all that.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty recent.
Interesting. I was gonna say like that learning curve for getting those head sculpts was pretty steep, or you crushed it fast, I guess is what I'm trying to
Oh, thank you. Well, really, once you learn the program, like if you already know how to sculpt, then it's just a matter of
it's just like a
learning
different material. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, but I'm not. I mean, technology and I sometimes don't get along when it comes to like artistic endeavors, just because I grew up doing everything tactily and without like a computer and that kind of stuff. So like it's like this extra barrier you have to fight sometimes, and you're like, I just want to make the damn thing. So yeah, 3D printing I do not enjoy, let me tell you. I love the results of it, but I like the amount of stuff you have to do and troubleshoot and all that. Yeah, just like the cleanup and all that. I hate the chemicals, and I have a whole
that
like
doesn't sound
mitigation system I had to build. Yeah, it sucks.
But
when you
Dom
have a thing
recently
you made,
got a 3D printer. I don't know what printer you have, but he has like a Bamboo Labs, I think, or something like that.
Oh, so he's got a filament printer, which is like it takes the spools of
I believe so.
And builds it. I have a resin printer, which is like
that's
a vat of goo. Yeah, and it's like very toxic, and
and then afterwards you're having to clean it all up.
Yes, that's the part I hate the most. I don't mind setting it all up, but the cleanup is just like,
yeah. All right. Let me see here. What are we gonna do first? Well, first, did you want to? So, a lot of people, if they know you for your toys, they might not know that you draw comics.
Yeah.
Unless you pay attention to the end of your videos. But do you want to talk about your new Kickstarter that hasn't launched yet, or is about to launch?
Yes,
or when
I would
is that
love
launching?
to. Thank you. I'm not exactly sure. So it's through my publisher, so they're the ones running it.
Okay,
so they've got all the
pulled up
dates
the
and
page
stuff.
here, so you can see it.
Ah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah. So essentially, the log line is kind of like The Last Samurai meets 30 Days of Night. So,
okay.
This woman in the photo here, or in the painting, she's this, sort of globe-trotting explorer. She's British and Kenyan, and her family is slaughtered by something. And so when we meet up with her, she is in the newly opened shores of Japan, because Japan was closed off to outsiders for, a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
And she's
that in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Yes, which was filmed in my home state of Oregon, by the way. And essentially she's looking for like a champion. Like she's like, I've heard tales of the one they call the Black Demon, and she goes to find this man Senjuro, he's of mixed ethnicity. Also, his father was a Sudanese sailor, which was like Dutch trade ships were pretty much the only thing that could get into Japan at the time. And so he was a deckhand on one of these ships, met his mom, they had a quick tryst, and then, he's off waters again, and so she's got this mixed race baby that her grandfather or that her father, his grandfather, raised and taught him to hold a sword and all that stuff. So he's made a name for himself as the Black Demon, right? Because he growing up they called him Half Blood, and so he had to kind of take ownership of his identity and make himself like a name beyond like the derisive one they'd call him, right? So now he's this like fearsome samurai, but it's the end of the samurai era, pretty much. Like Japan is modernizing, and there's no work for him. So when we meet him, he's just like kind of guarding a shipment of grains, and
just bored.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and there's no honor in any of it, and he wants like the glory of honor in battle and that sort of thing. So then this woman comes and finds him, and she's basically like, your reputation precedes you. Like I've read about the samurai, and I'm looking for one, and you're it, basically. And she has with her a Sikh soldier from India who she's met along her travels. And basically she's like, I want to hire you to help me hunt the people who killed my family. And so it's this process of like a fish out of water. They take him to Victorian London, and they're trying to follow the clues of like who or what killed her family. And, I mean, I kind of already gave it away with the 30 Days of Night comparison, but yeah, essentially I was like, what we've never seen? A samurai versus vampires. And I was like, what would that story look like? And so
yeah,
how it came about.
Awesome. Sounds pretty fucking cool.
Thank you. So yeah, the Kickstarter thing is basically the book is done.
So Humanoids is the publisher, right? It's called Half Blood.
Yes.
All right.
And Humanoids is a very storied publisher from France, and they have a arm in the US, and I've been doing my last I think this was my 4th book with them. And so they have found a lot of success doing Kickstarter because they found that it's kind of this new audience of people, and they're really treated more like a direct sort of pre-order, direct to the customer kind of thing, instead of going through like the now defunct Diamond distributors who went bankrupt.
Yeah, that's another thing that's changed since the last time we talked. Yeah,
exactly. So with this, essentially they're kind of doing a little internal contest, so to speak. So you see right there where it says in black, notify me on launch. The more people who click that, they will, whichever one has the most of that, they will prioritize that campaign first. So
gotcha.
Yeah. So if anybody watching this wants to go to that page and click that, I would greatly appreciate it, because
I'm glad we pulled it up.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And the link to that is below, guys, in the description if you want to go.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, be much appreciated. We just took the lead yesterday, so now we got to maintain the lead. And I'm up against some like legends in the business. So the fact that I was able to kind of squeak into first place was pretty cool. So I'm hoping to keep that going.
Pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, dude. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, of course. I've only read your Count book that you did.
But thank you, man.
I'm meaning to get back around.
Hey, they'll be there, right? I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. All right. Well, what do you want to do first? You want to talk about some custom stuff? You want to talk about some news?
Yeah, let's get into the SDCC stuff, I guess, or
right.
whatever you got there. And we kind of.
Let's do a little bit of news. Here we go.
Oh, and
I'm back with my hat on.
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Right. Perfect.
You know what? I have a quick addendum about that. A quick little thought. So that line, for those who don't know, there's a scene in Superman when, in the new movie, when Lois is going to interview him. He says,
in the trailer. You're not spoiling anything. Yeah.
That means that Walter Cronkite exists in this like fantastical DC world.
Interesting point. Yes.
Right. And I thought about that, and I was like, that's kind of the only touchstone we have that's not like this made up world. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting. I don't know. That's all I have about that, but
interesting.
Yeah.
There was no comparisons to Lex and the president.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's, it was all analogs of stuff, right? Like not real countries and that sort of. We can draw the obvious.
They're DC countries.
Yeah, but I thought that was weird to have like the.
That was interesting. I did hear that in James. By the way, did you like the movie?
I did. Yeah, I thought it was a little overstuffed.
We're talking
Um,
about so many things before we talk about toys tonight.
yeah. Well, hey,
I
this
love
is
it. It's
news,
good.
right?
This is nice rounded, nice
Yeah.
round.
But I think they got Superman right, and that was the big thing for me.
I
right?
agree. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really liked him as Superman. I think that a lot of people can't stop talking about how amazing Mr. Terrific is, and I don't discount that was a fun scene and he does a great job as the character, but like he doesn't necessarily steal the show away from Superman for me. I thought Corn Sweat did a great job.
Yeah, I
They
do
nailed
think
it.
Terrific had the best action scene in the movie. And that's
Sure,
probably what people are responding to a lot of,
Mhm.
like, and he was great. I loved, I mean, I don't know if you saw, I made a custom of him, and oh yeah, we
I
talked
did,
in the
yeah.
comments, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited by his character, but yeah, I really liked that Superman was just good for goodness sake, and he saved a
Agreed.
squirrel, and that's what I want from that character,
Save
right?
the squirrel.
Yeah,
That was one of my favorite parts. No,
same.
it was really fun. They did a really good job making Superman exactly who he's supposed to be without trying to make him cooler than he's supposed to be, and he was still
Yes.
cool. And that's the point,
Yeah.
Like, and that's
I do
Are you
feel
a
like
big
the movie
Batman fan? I
suffered
know you're a
from.
Superman fan. I know you love Superman to death.
Yeah. I do love
Are you-
Batman. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's a not a distant second. I'd say he's a close second, but Superman for
Mhm.
me is just kind of it's like
Yeah, it's just the top tier.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, like, I think ultimately I like Batman more only because I love the Robins, and that's kind of like the heart of
oh
who
sure,
Batman is. So, like, that's a
yeah,
big part of it for me. So, like, if it was just Batman versus Superman, I'd have a really hard time choosing who I liked more. I
yeah.
really would.
You
But
know what
like
I
the
do love?
whole thing of Batman with all the kids and all the like his family, his quote unquote family around him,
Yeah,
I love to death. So
I
like
do love
that's
a
hard to beat.
Superman Robin team up. Like
Oh, those are
whenever
the
those
best.
two are
Dude,
in the
that
story
world.
together,
Are you reading current comics? What are you doing over
off
there?
and
You
on.
reading?
Yeah, I'm a little too jaded, I
I
think,
was
by the
gonna.
industry to enjoy a lot of it at this point.
I was gonna say, I was like, are you too busy making comics to read comics? Because I know that's a lot often the
That
case.
is, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I was the World's Finest by Mark Waid and Dan Mora is really fun. It's
Yeah.
just old school fun storytelling with like Batman, Superman, and also Dick Grayson. So
Yeah.
like it's kind of fun.
I have I think the first two trades of that.
Yeah, it's kind of it maintains its funness. It
Yeah.
doesn't really go downhill. If anything, it gets a little better, I think.
Yeah. No, and a good friend of mine is coloring that, Tamara Bonvillain, and then actually Mark Waid, he was like a big champion of mine at Humanoids because he worked there for a while when I came in there. So the book Count that you read, that was Mark was the one who said we got to greenlight this and sign him.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, I have a lot of love for Mark. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like the Superman guy, which is great.
Mm-hmm. He's just been around forever too.
Yeah.
That's really cool that he's in your corner like that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, off of Superman and into the news. We're going to talk about Superman so much.
I'm sure there'll be some overlap, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So up front, I got so Mezco makes it so annoying because they don't post any pictures up and stuff. Like you have to like hound the internet to find good photos and from their booth and stuff. But like, so these are some random things. I don't know how into these properties you are, but Dom's a huge Samurai Jack fan, so that one looks pretty awesome. Oh, hold on, let me put the loop on so it doesn't drop back down.
Yeah, I Samurai Jack was, I think, a little bit after my time, just in terms of like when I was watching cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a blind spot for me. It always looked cool, but I'm a big samurai fan. I mean, just Half Blood is about a samurai.
We were just talking about it, yeah.
So, but my inclination is like I want like a realistic version of
it's
him.
very stylized, which I don't dislike per se for that.
No, I think if you want, like a
but,
1-to-1, it's beautiful, Marv looks cool, but have you seen the Muff Toys Marv that was teased?
Where was that teased?
I think it was like in Shanghai or something at the Wonder
Yeah, I
Fest
did see that. That looks amazing.
I'm holding out for that.
There's some good stuff. I mean, like if you're in the Mezco or rather the 1/12 scale with cloth goods realm these days, like 5K Toys and all that, like all the third party stuff is coming a long way.
Yeah,
and it's pretty amazing what especially what they're slipping through, that's not licensed per se.
Yeah, the clown or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
the clown. Yeah. I mean, actually, the only one I've gotten recently I can think of was the Superman, but that was the Kingdom Come Superman, but that was licensed. They called it.
Oh yeah, the
Superman.
Gong Studio. Yeah.
Gong Studios. Yeah. But yeah, there's still some really good stuff. This Marv it looks good, but like, you know, I don't that you're right, that other Marv does look impressive.
Yeah, and you know, I have this love-hate relationship with Mezco where I feel like everything I get from them I have to fix, and like they do, you know, they get so close but they make some kind of stupid thing to it. And the Batman figure that they made, the Patents of Batman, that one,
Batman,
yeah, that broke me. That was like, I'm done with Mezco. I did pre-order the Superman one. We can talk about that later, obviously.
Oh yeah, I remember watching that video. You put like, didn't you like stretch his legs out or something? Or
yeah, I had to put like stents in his leg, or like
okay,
you know,
all right.
like
you did make him taller. Okay,
yeah, and then I remember his neck was like
being very frustrated with the legs. I couldn't really remember what it was though.
Man, yeah, and it was just like the rest of the figure was good, like the soft goods, you know, the suit, everything was, but it's just like they just make these dumb proportion mistakes and like and it feels like they're kind of just like deal with it, you know. And it's
they're like, we got clothes enough, just figure it out.
Yeah,
I mean, if I was as good a customizer as you, I would probably be frustrated and
thank you.
do more to fix it, but like I'm just like, I guess this is what I got. My dog is freaking out right now. What are you doing? Having a dream?
He's having a dream. Yeah.
That Marv is kind of nice. I mean, it's pretty nice.
It is cool. Oh, what's up, Crimson Reigns? That's the homie right there.
Who's making the other Marv? Do you remember?
It's Muff Toys.
Oh, okay, Muff Toys.
Yeah, it's on the Atom body. So it might be like,
oh wow, yeah, it might be a little too big, but not that big.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not going to pair it with any other figure, so it's kind of like it'll be on its own.
Robin episode when the animated series were both running.
Yes,
I remember that.
It was Superman dresses up as Batman.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Doesn't Batman get captured or something? And then Robin's like, "I need your help." And blah, blah,
yes. And then he mimics Bruce's voice, and he's like, "How are you doing?" He's like, "Precise, vocal cord."
I have muscles everywhere, and they're all super.
Yeah. Crimson Reigns, great customizer. Yeah, really cool guy too. So check him out on Instagram and YouTube, actually.
So next up, we get Mezco turtles,
dude.
Which I'm not.
What I'm really curious. Yeah, what do you think about these?
I'm not sure how I feel about them. So here's the thing. Like with the turtles specifically, I missed out on the Mezco turtles. I would have bought those in a heartbeat. But my turtle collection is Super 7 based because it's based off of nostalgia for the Playmates toys, and I just loved what they were doing, and I was like, this is good for me. I don't go into the NECA stuff at all, almost ever. I did get Usagi Yojimbo, but that's it. But like, I'm very picky in particular, and I'm like, that's it. I don't need more. That being said, the movie Turtles, I'm like, all right, maybe. But then doesn't NECA make better ones? I don't know. So I don't know how to feel about these.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't collect all of the expansive NECA stuff. I have the movie set that I got when they first released them in that San Diego box set. I was one of the lucky 5,000 who got one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I feel like they're perfect. Like, and they look better than these in my opinion. Now, I have the Mezco Predator, right? Mm-hmm. And the difference between the Mezco Predator and the NECA Predators is heavier duty plastic. Like, it's not that kind of like shiny, like hard plastic. It's a little bit like softer and more matte finished,
The
and you
Mezco is?
Yeah, like you could just feel
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like it doesn't feel like it's brittle plastic. It feels like pretty like solid and like
that's the thing that makes Mezco like kind of worth, aside from all the nice cloth goods and stuff. Like they do so when it's a turtle and all the only cloth goods is a little leather strap going across her body, it's still worthwhile in terms of the quality of like the plastic you're getting and stuff. And
and the articulation fluidity
and the articulations for the most part. Yeah.
Here's the thing though. NECA has done so much with that line. What's up, dude? Townsend Art Studio, another
Oh,
Superman
Crimson said,
fan.
thanks. Really appreciate that for the
Yeah,
shout out there.
brother, for sure, man. Thank you for
Check
joining
him
us tonight.
out on Instagram and YouTube.
Townsend Art Studio as well. He makes some really fun custom stuff. Has a cool Superman collection of customs and all that. Yes, definitely check him out on Instagram.
Nice.
So I would keep looking over here because my NECA turtles are there.
You're just like,
yeah, I think they nailed it. Like, I think the head sculpts look better on the NECA ones than they do on these Mezco ones.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. If you have the accessory set, or I mean, they've put out 2 accessory sets at this point, one for the first movie, one for the second. So if you've got the figures and the accessory sets, I don't know what Mezco is going to put out that
could, maybe it's for the people that just, I mean, hasn't NECA like redone that set like multiple
they're coming
times
out again and an ultimate.
It's like version. All right, then it almost begs the question of like, what does Mezco, what kind of market are they trying to tap into? Like,
I think
unless they really have like this belief that their product is that much better.
I mean, I think maybe from an engineering standpoint, possibly, or at least from a quality standpoint. But at the same time, it's like, okay, the ultimate figures are coming out, right? They showed those at San Diego, which is basically like they're repackaging them in their own individual boxes. Before they were GameStop exclusives, and you can only get them.
Right. Yeah.
So these will have more accessories that are from those accessory packs and things like that. Those will probably be $40, right? Whereas this Mezco set is probably going to be $400, maybe a little bit more. So
hopefully not more than 400.
I would think 450 is a safe bet with whatever tariffs and shipping and stuff.
They've been hiking the prices up recently.
They have, and also they charged. I pre-ordered that Superman, and shipping is doubled. It was like $30 where it used to be like $14, $15.
Oh shoot!
So it's going to be the better part of $500 for this set. So you got to ask yourself, $160 roughly.
For what could possibly be better figures,
right? Overall, I don't think, and even if they're not, are they, $100 a figure better, like roughly?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be.
I don't know
personally.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the very first time we're seeing them. Maybe they're going to be like, check out all this stuff, because they like to do that. So like that's very possible that they'll be like, look, it's 4 trench coats and 4 hats and 4, like they could.
I'm sure they'll probably do that kind of thing. Yeah. I will say I struggle to remember a time when a Mezco figure improved from when we first saw it at a convention. Like John Wick is the one that sticks out of my head the most. Like that figure fell off a cliff from the prototype. So like I don't know, but they do release good stuff, but a lot of their stuff is kind of like just not quite there. So
I really enjoyed it. They've really gotten away from this recently, but then, which is funny because Nightcrawler is an example. I'll just put them up right now.
Yes,
is an example of them going back to this, but I really like their flourishes and like what they used to do on.
Same.
They just don't do it as much anymore, especially with the Hulk being one of those classic ones, quote unquote.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing when they take their own liberties.
Necessarily, but I like when they do that. Yeah, I like their liberties that they took, and it seems like they're still doing it with the Batman figures, at least.
Yeah, that and X-Men. So those are the lines where they started doing it. So I think
they're just like, let's not stop.
Hopefully, because they are doing classic Marvel as well. Like they just did the Captain America. That's a lot more classic. They have
this Hulk is supposed to be in that line, in that wave rather, or that idea. I mean, man, that Hulk looks awesome. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I haven't gotten any of those classics yet. Spider-Man almost had me, but I didn't jump in there. But
that one did look good. Yeah, I just prefer like the updated like movie designs of these costumes. Even if I'm not a big fan of like a movie, I like a sort of more real world approach to the stuff. That's why I love when Mezco does
boxer
that.
briefs Hulk.
Yeah, or like like the new Fantastic Four stuff, like the movie outfits. Like I really like those. What's up, Timbo?
Yeah.
So yeah, my collection is usually like the movie version of a thing, unless I really, like I have a kind of a Superman corner that's like classic stuff sort of thing as well. But yeah, because I think something about translating a real world thing into toy form is really what gets my goat, you know, like
Okay.
what I really pop for. So yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of fluctuate. I tend to just, especially with the Mezcos, like I kind of like more the kind of like what you did with the Superman animated series, Superman that you did.
Yeah.
Kind of like the most realistic version of a comic book character I could get without actually being from the movie,
Same,
kind of
same.
thing or whatever.
Yeah.
That's sort of like where I want it to be in my brain, kind of.
I do
Which
love
doesn't
that. I
make a
love
whole
that
lot of
they
sense.
no, but it's like it's a cool interpretation, right? It's like
Yeah.
because you have them as drawings, you have them as actors, but to have one that's like somewhere in between is fun, you know.
Like that Mezco Cyclops is like probably one of my favorite figures,
Agreed.
and it's just
Same.
like, it's
Yeah.
and it's got a lot of extra stuff and he's missing the yellow trunks, but I'm like, yeah, I'm all right with that.
But if you blur your vision, right? From
Yeah,
like
you could be like, I'm watching the cartoon again, and I'm
yeah, and that to me is what I love, and because I draw superheroes that way myself. Like whenever I'm drawing Superman or something, like you know, I
like
don't always give him
slightly.
I don't always give him the briefs, but I give him like red around there and some kind of a trim or something that like
Mhm.
it still evokes that idea. It's just kind of a little bit different, you know.
At any rate, so for me, who's your favorite X-Man?
Cyclops.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Who's your number 2?
Wolverine for sure. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So for
but
me,
as
it's
far as like
Cyclops and
comics,
Nightcrawler, and every other day I'm like different.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's 99 out of 10 times I'd probably say Cyclops, but Nightcrawler is right there. So I'm very excited for
yeah,
for
no,
this
it looks
figure.
great.
I'm like, yes, and it's got all the Mezco trimmings, and I can't wait to see what else he comes with and what's going on with this guy.
No, same dude. That was one of my most like anticipated things from this convention was that Nightcrawler for sure.
Yeah, he looks amazing. I'm psyched for that Nightcrawler.
I do love Gambit too. I would say Gambit is probably on any given day, you know.
I do. You know what's funny?
Wolverine.
Even with that limited articulation that I was looking down at the toy again too.
Yeah.
Even with that limited articulation of the Gambit with the armor piece he's wearing on his chest, like he's still so awesome looking. And I'm like, man, you're a really cool toy. Like I can't move your arm. I have to move around as much as I might want to, but that's not that big of a deal because you look amazing.
I also love Storm, and I really want a Mezco Storm in this set.
I mean, Mezco seems to just like sit on their hands when it comes to the female characters, man.
They really
like unless it's Miss Marvel or like a movie, A-list headlining movie character.
I think they've done what? Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, the 2 Power Rangers, and that Tangerine that they just put. Oh, and Catwoman.
Oh yeah, Catwoman.
I think that's it.
Wait, is there another one from
6?
back then? Is Catwoman the other? Oh, Harley Quinn. That's
Harley Quinn. That's right. Okay. Yeah, they've done
made
like
a couple
3
of
Harley
hers.
Quinns.
Yeah, they've done a couple of hers, but she's popular. So, she's like that's like a Batman. It's gonna sell. Like they're.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I want Jean Grey. I want Rogue. I want Storm. I want I'm like, give me the rest of the X-Men with the rest
of a Rogue in that X-Men line would be incredible, dude. Oh
I know. God. That's what I'm talking about. Like, give me more of this. Give me more of that X-Men 97, 90, feel.
Jubilee. I think we need Jubilee, Rogue, and Storm.
Jubilee is top of my list. I've almost bought that figure arts
Mondo one.
It's not oh no, I can't. Mondo.
Yeah,
they're so expensive though. They look so good though. Do you have any of those Mondos?
No. I'm thinking about maybe
if I
the
cross
Superman
into
animated,
that 12-inch scale, I'll never go back. Like I can't stop myself. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, Jubilee. No, it's I think it's Figure Arts or Mayfex.
Oh, yeah.
With the cloth goods, but it's the rest of the figures plastic, but they have the code of cloth goods. Yeah. So I was like, it's close enough. Like maybe I should get it. I haven't gotten it yet though, but I might. Speaking of something, all right, this is what I was going to ask you about Superman, but you already said it. But when you customize a shredder like you have or a Casey, do you ever go like, maybe I should get that one, or do you just go, I'm good, I made it?
I generally go, no, I have the version that
you want, right?
Yeah,
right. But with Superman, what's the deal with the Superman then?
So I you know, I handmade the suit on my custom movie Superman.
And
And
you're
well,
like,
I started with a two bodysuits from a guy on eBay, C. Ford Charles,
mhm, mhm.
and I had to dye them and cut them, and so I didn't make the base suits, but I handmade the rest of it. Um, and there's a
There you go.
handmade quality to it, and it doesn't have the right texture, like
Right.
the right material. So it's great for a placeholder on the shelf for sure. And like if I never got one from a Mezco or whatever, then I'd be happy with this one for forever. But Mezco, I think the legs look stumpy, just like the Batman that they did, the Pattinson Batman. And the head sculpts are a little, they could use a repaint, but the suit looks like perfect. Like I think
Yeah,
it
the suit looks amazing.
looks
Yeah.
better than the Hot Toys one. I mean,
Well,
they
let's
nailed it.
pull that up. Well, I mean, we might as well pull it up. Well, so this is what they revealed at the con. So again, the head sculpts. I don't know. Maybe the sculpt's okay, but like you said, maybe it just needs a repaint.
I think it needs a repaint. That's usually the case
But the
with their
suit
stuff.
itself looks amazing. Like the
Yeah.
trunks are perfect and the belt's perfect. That's just
Yeah.
recreating the poster. But yeah, so these are the pretty promo pictures that they do. I mean, that one on
once
the right
I
looks
cut that
pretty
thing
good.
open and take that suit off, man, it's
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be perfect once I change it.
yeah. I do think the legs are going to be too short though, from all those photos, from like seeing it in the display case. Maybe they didn't hike the
Yeah.
trunks up high enough. I don't know, but it looks like it's got the stumpy little legs.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like Crypto has a tiny bit of articulation, which is more than we've seen in anywhere else so far.
Yeah, if you can extend his front legs out to make him fly, then I'm
Yeah, that's
happy with
and
that.
yeah, it looks like his hind legs too as well. I can't
Yeah.
quite tell. It's
I think
covered in
wired
fur.
cape too.
I've
So
got that snake eyes they made, and they made a wolf. They
Mhm.
they made the wolf that comes with them, but it's like highly articulated. I wonder why they
Very.
like skimped out on Crypto because
I think
McFarlane didn't even make it move at all. I think, right?
no, it's just a static pose.
Yeah, static.
Here's my theory with this Superman that they made, because I have that Timberwolf. I don't have the figure, but I found
Oh,
a
you bought
used
the
one.
wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love 1/12 scale animals that are really well done, and I've
Mhm.
sort of have a few, like I have the alligator from the GI Joe Hasbro line.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um
I've got all the
and
GI Joe animals, Ibrahim.
yeah, I did get the warthog, and I made a bebop out of it.
That's right. When you did that, I was just like, "That's hilarious." I'll never, never look at that Warthog the same way.
Right. He already had the piercing and everything. It was perfect.
Yeah.
But no, I think with this Superman, it was like, okay, I guess we have to make a Superman. Let's have one in the can in case the movie does well. And if the movie doesn't do well, then we won't do it. But because you can tell there's no effort. Like there's no accessories with him,
Boned it. Yeah, the accessories are hands.
Yeah.
All right.
And
There's a bunch of head sculpts, but that's
they do give you a bunch of heads. They give you a dog, but like the dog's not that articulate, and maybe they'll add more to it.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when the Snake Eyes was coming out, they definitely said it's coming with timber, and they kind of put something in the picture, or maybe it was just a silhouette, but they were like, it's going to be articulated and then cool, but we'll show you later, kind of thing. They definitely like waited to show you timber. And that's
I
good.
think this figure could have come with maybe like the torso of Robot 4, after he's like taken apart the fortress. It could have come with like a mug of hot chocolate or something, like something,
Yeah.
Little crystal base. Like there's all kinds of stuff they could do if they really cared,
Yeah, it seems like, yeah, you're right. And especially when you think about like what they pack in with like granted Reeves Superman is legendary. So they're like, let's make this an amazing thing. But like, yeah, you're right. This does kind of smell of like, we don't really know what we're doing or how all this movie's going to do. Let's not pour too much effort into it.
Yeah.
Back on this animated trail that's purely animated. How do you feel about these?
Yeah. So as you know, I've made a custom Superman that is like a realistic version of the animated series. I have a Batman that is very similar to that I've already done, and it has a head from another sculptor. And I I want to sculpt my own head for it that's more in line with the Superman that I made. Those look fantastic, but it's not the version I want, so I'm gonna pass on those.
Okay, so hold on. Well, I'll just do that when I pull up let me pull up my toy camera.
Do it. I do love them though. I think they look great.
Yeah, they look. I mean, yeah, they look cool. For my needs, they're perfect. Yeah. Hold on, let me unplug that. All right, add this to the stage real quick. Here we go. Up here, got all this. Guys,
oh, nice.
Here.
Yeah, dude.
So like, I've got like everything. I'm just like, so like for me, I'm like, why not?
Sure, yeah. And I mean, it's gonna look so good with that Batmobile.
I know. Also, I mean, the classic suit that I have up there is one of the worst versions they made. It's from like a million years ago. I think my kids knocked them off the shelf a couple hundred times.
They had real ankles. Skinny, flimsy little legs.
Yeah, their ankles are so little, tiny little. Yeah. The updated suit I have up there behind a Batmobile, but he's shattered. I'm just like, if they made him, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you're talking about the second iteration where he didn't.
Yeah, the Batman and Robin,
Batman Adventures, or
Batman and Robin Adventures, I think. Yeah, but yeah, I have all of those too. But like, man, and that one's just broken. He's just broken. Yeah. I've glued him back together. And I'm like, just stand here.
Did you pick up the McFarlane versions at all of those? Or?
No, when they started reissuing the DC Direct, I picked up some characters I didn't have. Like I didn't have like old school Scarecrow. I had the updated one, but not the older one. And like stuff like that, I'd be like, oh, I missed that one. Kind of thing. But when they were doing it in the multiverse style, I didn't like any of those. They were like, well, first of all, size wise, they didn't fit in with these. It's like, what's the point? And then, it was just, there's a lot of joints. There's a lot of bulky joints in those earlier ones. And it just didn't look as seamless and nice as the DC Direct ones did. But these cloth goods cover that up. So I'm probably I also don't have an old Joker, oddly enough. I have the newer version, the updated look. So that's like, that's perfect for me. I'm all in on those.
Yeah, I have my heart set on making a Joker as well, like in that style that I'm doing. But I was tempted to get that one for the suit and everything. But I have an old knockoff.
IG. We'll mix the news with your IG in here,
okay?
Because this is your Superman that you were talking about. This is awesome.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that was a bucket list one for a long time.
That's great. I mean, you even you did Clark. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I just had to like sculpt the curl out and change his facial expression a little bit, and most of the work was done. So I was like, why not?
Yeah, why not do it? Yeah.
And then on that Muff Toys body, that's the Muff Toys Protector of Metropolis. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On the left, the right is a V Toys body that I sculpted the neck and shoulders to be one piece, and then repainted all of it to match, and then I bulked out the chest and the arms so that it would have a little bit more of that Bruce Timm,
more of that V shape.
Yeah.
You got to get the Dorito body for those characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
for those ones. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like super impressed with that Batman sculpt. I mean, I think he looks a little awkward in some of the photos they took, like especially the upward shot of him, like with the classic lightning behind him from the intro. I'm like, that doesn't look that good. But then there's ones where he's like holding Joker, and I'm like, okay, that looks amazing.
It's interesting. I feel like the sculpt on that one on the face is a little soft. You know?
There's something missing.
Yeah, like it's just kind of, there's not a lot of depth to it, and
it could just be the harsh lighting of the case it's in. Maybe,
it could be. It definitely could be. And I get, even if they didn't, like even if it is just like that, I get why they would do that, because they're translating the cartoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's kind of a missed opportunity.
They could have done like a black line or something to like.
Exactly. Or like a darker wash.
Yeah, or I mean, it doesn't have to be black, but it could be like a lip color to just slightly highlight there's a mouth there.
Agreed.
It could have been subtle, I guess is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a black line. That would look maybe a little too animated for what people want.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this Joker is very animated head sculpts.
They're
not hiding it at all, but
yeah, it looks almost like a Mondo thing, doesn't it? Like if Mondo did soft goods.
Basically, yeah. There is something the Joker has, like, I don't know if you noticed, but like he he has no collar, so it's
Yes.
just like sewn, and it looks a little awkward.
Dude, you know what it looks like? It looks
What's
like
that?
when you get those plushies out of a claw machine and they have like it's
Oh, like the
sewn right
vinyl
up to
head.
yeah, that's exactly what it looks like to me.
Great. Now I pre-ordered. Thanks a lot. I'll have to buy him a new shirt and just be like, let's change this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's what the cartoon looked like. It was just like a
it's
t-shirt
accurate, right?
that way. Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
accurate, but it is like a little bit like, I wish they'd done a little bit more there. So back to this super fast. I missed this Casey. I missed all the Mezco turtles, but I was like, I just want, I do kind of want Joker. I mean, Shredder and Casey for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
I think you can still. So I got the turtles in December of this last year.
The last I looked, and granted, I haven't been like keeping an eye on it or anything, and I'm sure if I did, I could probably snap up something that's reasonably priced, but they're so high now.
Oh,
they're
they
like
okay.
6,
So I got
7.
them on. Yeah, I got them on Big Bad
Yeah.
Toy Store. They still had them, and I didn't. Oh,
that's way different.
But they're sold out now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're super sold out.
I only got them because, but I mean, it was only, I think, yeah, it was like December. It was November or December, so just under a year ago.
Missed my opportunity.
Yeah, I skipped them because I was like, I made my own turtles like from scratch, pretty much.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the version I want, right? Like, I was underwhelmed by the Mezco ones. I think they're great, but just for my own personal taste, I wanted that Mezcofication. And I feel like they didn't really do that. They kind of stuck more to like a comic representation,
right? Yeah,
which I think is great. And obviously they're some of the best.
They kind of felt like a weird amalgamation of like the comics and the cartoon, and like it was just they weren't really touching on anything, which is kind of what made them cool in a way.
I agree.
They weren't any version of the turtles that we had seen. Like these movie turtles are just NECA, but not maybe better in certain ways, but maybe not as good in certain ways. But like. Those turtles were just like their own thing.
Yeah. And I love the proportions on the Mezco ones, and like the size of them, like they're short, they're like they're
very squat
or something.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't like the heads, and I was like, I can't justify. But then I got a 3D printer and I started sculpting, and I was like, I could make my own heads, and then I could make copies of those heads and sell them to other people who might want a different set of heads on their turtles.
Right.
So that's why I ended up getting them, was like, okay, now I can actually do something with this. So I eventually will be like, molding and casting them and
are these ones that you're talking about right here?
Yes.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Thank you, man. That's like the version I wanted, and so I was like, okay, what if they were like kind of realistic, turtle-y, but kind of still Mezco-y, and had like that sort of personality to them. So yeah, I had a blast doing those.
Yeah, there's some really cool details in there.
Thank you. That was a real crash course in how to like learn to do texturing and the sculpting. Yeah, like
this Donnie. I don't know. I took that down way too quickly. Let me see this Donnie. I haven't looked at these up close. I mean, I know you were like, you showed them off in a video or something maybe, but yeah, that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Thank you, man. The most fun part, I think, was trying to match the paint to them. Like, because that was a real challenge, getting them to, not have like a huge difference in the color and stuff. And I feel like I got pretty darn close. So I was happy with that.
Oh, what are you doing there? What are you doing there, internet? Let's pretend that's loading. Pretend it's there.
I'm cursing your internet, I think.
Yeah.
There we go.
Like, what's wrong with you? That's kind of all right. Go back. All right. We'll just do that while that's doing that. Yeah, the Casey. All right. So the Casey that came out with the Super 7 stuff, which I have. Like, he has this weird in his abdomen. He's like floating off his sweatpants, and like it's just. And for some reason, I was like, I don't need a Mezco Casey. I didn't get the turtles. And then afterwards, I was like, I kind of want that Mezco Casey. Like,
it's really cool,
redoing it. I'm like, I kind of all right. I'll grab them.
Yeah.
So I'm.
It's also would be an easy custom to make too, though.
That's true, and your custom of it is awesome. But like,
thank you.
Like, I'm lazy, and I'd rather just
well, there's something to like the Mezco boxes are so nice, and like
Yeah.
Dude, there's nothing like the smell of a fresh Mezco figure, man. When you
Oh,
open
they're
that
the
up,
best, aren't they?
yeah,
Oh,
I
it's just so
really, I hate that I love them sometimes, you know.
yeah, they annoy you.
Well, they just keep doing us dirty, you know. And I feel like the delays without explanation, and you know, I'm not one who gets like bent out of shape over toy stuff. Like, it's the least of my worries, you know, in
Oh
life and
yeah,
like the
it
world.
does seem a little silly when to get,
Yeah,
people are like, oh, there's too many pre-orders, and I don't know the hit. I'm like, just don't spend pre-order money that you don't have, and then you're fine.
or act your
Doesn't matter when
wage
they
is
come in.
something I heard a guy say once. Act your wage, you know. I
What's
was
that?
like, act
Accurate.
your wage, yeah. But also like just these little testimonial videos they make where they're like, you know, you'd think that they were like calling out a rival rapper or something when they're like, in Hasbro, you guys, you know, it's like, oh my god, dude.
First of all, calm it down.
Yeah,
We're I mean, I know, and you're the same way on your channel, but like we're just we enjoy toys and we want to talk about it. We're not gonna get into all this drama, like
yeah,
we're very let's keep it nice and happy and just enjoy what we're getting, and unless I've got really, I mean, the worst thing that happens to us is like we open a toy up and it breaks, and you're like, oh, that sucks, kind of thing. But that's like once in a million years.
yeah.
Unless it's literally happening to everybody, in which case I'm like, wow, they should have done a better job on QC. I don't go like Hasbro, kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems a little like you're shouting at the sky. Like, what's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, and it's like, dude, the thing that for me was like when I think it was when NECA did the loot crate with like the Spirit of Splinter from the movie, like the
Mhm,
campfire scene, and it was like
mhm.
hard to get and expensive. And the way I saw people acting, dude, I was like, these are grown men talking about a plastic rat. And like after that, I was like, I cannot even fathom acting like this in public
These are
over
grown
this.
men talking about a plastic rat.
Yeah.
That
I get
sums
it.
it up
I get what
pretty
it means
well.
to us, but yeah, when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, nah, dude, that
Yeah,
ain't
I
me.
can't really be mad,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, my biggest annoyance is like when my kids come in and they're like, "Toys!" and they pull everything off the shelves, and I'm like, "Do it! I love it. Go on." And then, but then I'm picking them up later, and I'm like, "I don't know where that guy's gun is. I don't know where that
Yeah.
guy's knife is." Like,
Yeah.
all right, slowly losing stuff to the carpet
Yeah.
monster. I'm fine with it, but it's fine, because still my kids are playing with the toys and having fun, so it's like I'm not gonna be upset about it. I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'll
That's a
just
cool
buy another
memory
gun."
for them, right?
Yeah. That's the best part. All right. You got what was that? Who made that recent Dark Knight version of
Oh, the in art
Bale?
version.
Oh, the NR. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. So I don't. Again, I'm not really into the movie stuff like you, but this is tempting.
Yeah.
But
These
after
look great.
just doing the animated series Batman and Joker, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can justify that.
Yeah. I have the Felix Toys Joker,
Hmm.
and I think it looks better than that one. So,
Yeah.
third party strikes again, right? I mean, I still think that's
Hmm.
going to be good, but there's something about the way Mezco does head sculpts that just doesn't quite nail it the way that some of these third party companies do, or like these independent, sculptors that they hired.
Are the third so a lot of the third parties aren't they taking like Hot Toys sculpts and just shrinking them down though?
Uh, Rarely. I mean, that's definitely been a
Okay.
thing. I think a lot of times, I mean, sometimes you'll see they steal them from like an independent. Like I got this third party Woody from Toy Story that was like kind of realistic,
Hmm.
and I think I turns out I'm pretty sure they stole that sculpt from this guy who was doing like a small run of independent like commission style 1/6 versions, or
Okay.
rather another company stole that from him and then they stole it from that company, I think. Yeah.
It's just
But
an endless circle.
yeah, but I think like, the Felix Toys Joker head sculpt is so good. And like I think that Mezco one, from what I've seen, it looks a little bit more like closer to the way McFarlane did theirs than like an actual super accurate
Hmm.
representation of Heath Ledger. So there's always this kind of like step of removal, I think, sometimes with these sculpts,
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, but it looks great. I'm sure the soft goods are going to be awesome. The Batman looks excellent. I have the Soap Studios one that I customized a long time ago,
Right. Okay.
and so I don't, this looks better than that, but I don't like to double dip when I already have one. Generally, like if it's doing a good enough job, I'm like, I don't need to spend another $125 on a thing I already have a version of. So I'll probably skip this one, but it'll be tempting.
Yeah, I mean, I might change my mind when we get pretty promotional images and I see
Yeah.
what they come with. I might change my mind. But right now it's a pass. But like I might change my mind. I don't know about this one, however. I don't know how you feel about year one, but that's amazing.
I love
this
year
looks
one.
like he walked off the comic or right out of the comic.
Yeah.
I don't need another Batman, but at the same time, I'm like, man, it's so good though.
Dude, I'm trying not to go down the rabbit hole of like collecting a version of each of my favorite versions of the thing. You know
Batman,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, or any of them. So like I love year one, right? I love the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
You know?
The only, not that they quite fit, they don't fit together at all, but I do have, because I am a Robin fan. So I got the Golden Age Robin that they made. But I didn't get Batman or Two-Face 2-pack, and I didn't get the Batman that came later into by itself. And I haven't gotten the Joker either, because I'm just like, I don't need these silly versions of those characters. I just need silly Robin. I'm good with that. And I'm like, I could get that Batman year one and just, that would be a Batman-ish that could be near him, kind of thing. So I'm like, maybe I'll get that.
Yeah, and
it doesn't quite fit, but Batman year one with a little Golden Age Robin, I'm like, maybe that's the path I take.
Did you get the Damian Wayne version of Robin?
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's right here.
Oh, okay. I wonder if you could put a head on the Golden Age one and see, like, would it be too different, or would it just look like a sort of more modern Robin with
the Golden Age Robin's head's like a little bigger than even Mezco normally makes it because it's a little cartoonier.
Yeah.
He's very melon headed.
So he'd look like Tony Shalhoub and Men in Black. Men in Black when they shoot his head off, he's like, "Come here, man, what are you doing?"
Just grows out like a balloon. Yeah, that's what it would be like. I don't know. I might. This one again is dependent on, I don't know, maybe just where my budget's at when this lands.
Yeah, that's fair.
Depending on what it comes with, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. Well, let's see here. All right, this one is an absolute 100% buying it. This is the red.
Oh yeah, as a Robin guy, right? You got to.
Yeah, dude. Come on. I've been wanting them to do. I mean, Nightwing hasn't hit yet, but hits. I think. I mean, and that was the exclusive at SDCC, was that New 52 version of Nightwing.
Yeah.
I did not buy it. I almost did, but I was like, I got normal Nightwing coming. That's enough.
Isn't that just the their regular one, but they just turned it red, basically?
Yeah, like, it was the same exact figure. They just made it red instead of blue. So like it wasn't a huge change, and I was just like, I've got the blue one coming. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
But and also chasing down exclusives when you're not at the con, such a pain. I don't want to deal with that.
Dude, I used to, when I went to community college, we had to sign up, for, I'm sure it's like this at every school, but you have to sign up for classes online, and you got to like certain ones fill up the prerequisites.
Yeah, you're just waiting for the minute to tick over.
So you got to get up at 6:45 to, because registration's at 7 or whatever. That's what it feels like, and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm 40.
No, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah. I just want to. If I can get it when it goes up, then I can get it. I'm not going to be like. There's certain. I mean, again, we talked about this last time you were on, but like I'm huge into the GI Joe. So GI Joe, although you missed it, is like I love it to death. So like I'm classified all the way in. But like even some of those exclusives, I'm like, if I get it, I get it.
They make it tough on you, Joe collectors, man. I feel so lucky that I missed that boat. I really do.
It's like, I don't have to worry about that Sergeant Slaughter exclusive.
Yeah.
I've weirdly enough been fine. I've gotten everything. I've gotten a hold of everything I wanted to get the hold of. So
that's good.
Never really had a lot of issues, but I know I've heard a lot of like nightmare stories of like, oh, this sold out in 5 seconds and blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, well,
yeah.
A lot of
they're
the
gonna
Target
play this.
exclusives will still do that, but then I'll just be
Yeah.
like, 9 times out of 10, I'll just be at a Target like way after it's supposed to have come out, and I'll be like, here it is, found it, kind of thing. So it's
That's
like,
awesome.
just lucky, and you're just like, oh, okay. For the most part, I've always picked up everything I want. But this Red Hood looks amazing. Gotta get it.
It does look really good. Yeah, and I mean I can't believe it took Mezco that long to get to it. Like, 'cause they're the perfect company to make one,
I know. I've came this close to buying like a third party Red Hood like so many times. I'm like, oh, that one looks really good. Oh, that
Yeah,
one, the jacket's bulky, but I could replace the jacket, or like stuff
right.
like that. And I'm like, I came really close to just trying to customize my own, because there's like people that sell the emblem and the helmet, and you can get like the
Oh
Ben
yeah.
Affleck Batman and like kind of cobble it together and then throw a jacket on him. And I'm like, I might just do that. I really want a good Red Hood figure, that is.
Yeah.
And then
Dude,
finally, this was there, and I was like, never mind.
yeah. I mean, it looks perfect. Like it
It's
looks a
also
lot
like
like all the custom
one of my
people do.
favorite versions of Red Hood too. So it's like
Oh, okay.
one of the very early costumes he kind of sported, and I was just like,
Yeah.
that's perfect. That's the one I would want.
I did a book years ago at DC. It was under their Young Animal imprint that was Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance. It was like his sort of boutique imprint there for a bit. And there was a character called Mother Panic, and it took place in Gotham. And in the arc I drew, I got to design a Red Hood Batman. So like Batman was dead or something, and Jason Todd was kind of like, running his own gang. Yeah, and then he, like, the sort of penultimate thing is he becomes Batman and fights her. And so I got to design a Red Hood Batman costume.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool, man. I feel like it came out and it was sort of like at this weird time, and I feel like if it were later and customizers knew about it, they'd be making
it would have been like White Knight Batman level. Yeah,
exactly. But weird timing, and it was like this little imprint off in a corner that people weren't really paying attention to. So I'll send you a picture of it. I have it somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely send me a picture of that. I'd love to see that. What's your favorite comic you've worked on that's not your own?
Probably James Bond.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
yeah.
No brainer.
I'm a huge James Bond fan, and I got to write and draw my own like James Bond one shot, and it was like, because I'm a Bond fan and I love the books as well, like real Bond fans loved it because they were like, he's one of us, and
he's read the books.
It was really cool.
There's something about James Bond from the books that I'm just like, why doesn't everybody understand how amazing he is?
Yeah, and this was like,
so much different.
Yeah, the comics,
I mean, it's there. The movies are there, but like, there's so much more depth.
But they're an interpretation, and they got kind of goofy in the Roger Moore years and stuff. And this is like the comics version was sort of, it's like it's the book version from the books, but like modern day. So it was a cool interpretation that we got to do, and they let me just kind of do whatever I wanted with it. And fortunately, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to keep it very like Fleming like, and so. I think that's probably my favorite like thing that I don't own or that I didn't come up with that I did. So unfortunately, I don't know if they still have the rights to it, but it came out through Dynamite and they suck. So I don't know. I had like a mini series that I was going to do.
Who's making the new James Bond stuff?
Dynamite has had the license for a long time. Dynamite? Yeah, right. It's been almost a decade now. I don't know if they still have it.
I've honestly been really meaning to like dive into those James Bond books, and I have yet to do it.
There's some.
I even have some on my iPad like ready to read.
Yeah, there's some good stuff.
I've just been distracted and busy.
The Andy Diggle ones, he wrote them, and they were drawn by a guy named Luca Casalanguida. Those are my favorite. They're really, really good. I mean, they've all been good, but that especially was like,
I'm a completionist, Ibrahim. I have to start from the beginning.
Well, the first two arcs were really strong, and then Andy Diggle took over the second arc, so it's pretty early on in the run.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, then again, there you go. Yeah. What are your thoughts on new Bond, Amazon Bond?
Dude, I don't know, man. It depends. I love
high hopes with the director they announced.
The director,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this was just one of those dumb rumors, but they were like Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I
he's
hope
too
not.
young. He just looks like a baby, you know?
It's not
Like,
that he's young. It's not that he's young. Yeah, it's that he has a baby face. It's not that he's young.
yeah.
He's not that young. He's like 30 something, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
think
how old Tom
he's
Holland
very
is.
young coded, right? He looks
Yeah, but he looks young. You know,
yeah,
like he's playing a high school-ish aged Peter Parker, but for a
yeah.
reason. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't. I
Yeah,
can't.
it
I hope
depends on the
that's not true.
casting. There's a guy who I think would be perfect for it. His name is Stas Nair. He was
Stas
in
Nair.
yeah, he was in what's that Zack Snyder movie that nobody watched or that people watched but nobody liked? Rebel Moon.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
and he played a Dothraki in Game of Thrones. He's got like
Okay.
he's
I mean,
got
I'm looking at
great.
him right now.
He's
Yeah.
I mean, super handsome guy. He's charming. He's British. He has gray eyes and black hair, just like Ian Fleming wrote. He's got the cruel mouth, is how
He'd be
Fleming wrote
good.
him. Like, I think he'd be perfect. I've seen him in some interviews and stuff, and I'm
I
like, he
haven't
seems
seen
like a
that
lovely
guy
guy.
put up as a name ever either.
That's what I like about him too, is that like he's an unknown. I mean, not
Mhm.
many of us knew about Daniel Craig when he took the
I didn't
reins.
know Daniel Craig at all.
Yeah,
Honestly, he came out of nowhere, and then everyone was like, "He's got blonde hair," and I was like, "Who cares? As long as he
yeah.
can do the job." And he
And he ended
did
up being
amazingly.
yeah. So that's
Speaking of like the books, like that's what I loved about the Daniel Craig Bonds is because it just felt like it was from the books finally,
yeah.
and I was like, that's what James Bond's like,
You know, for the
or the
same
closest
reason,
at least. You know,
I don't know if you've watched the Timothy Dalton ones. He's only in 2,
I know.
but
Yeah, I've watched them
yeah.
all. First of all,
Okay,
multiple times.
good. I love the
So,
Dalton ones. He's my
yeah, the
favorite
Dalton ones
Bond.
are great.
Yeah,
Oh, is Dalton your favorite Bond? I
he's
mean,
my favorite
he's
Bond.
up there, dude. I think Daniel Craig is my favorite,
I think Daniel Craig is the
and
best.
it's not recency bias. It's just
No,
I just love Craig that much.
he's the best. He has the best
He
movies.
crushed it.
But yeah,
Oh, that's for
Timothy
sure.
Dalton, he's Fleming's Bond walked right out of the books.
You know, I agree. Dalton's movies are really good. That's I didn't know this for the longest time, but when so Goldeneye was his movie. That's why it's so much better than all of the other. It's so much better than all of Pierce Brosnan's other movies because it was going to be Tim and Dalton.
Martin
And I was
Campbell.
like, that makes sense. Now, when I heard that, I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like that movie is supposed to be Timothy Dalton.
Martin Campbell directed that one, and he directed Casino Royale. So he was like the sort of Bond reboot guy, and he directed my favorite movie of all time, The Mask of Zorro, which is a perfect film from start to finish.
That's your favorite movie of all time?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. Do you have a Grail figure? You make your own, so it's hard to like. But a lot of collectors are like, "Oh, if only they would make this one figure that, like, you know, I can't get my hands on this figure, and it's too expensive."
That's a good question. I think I have both. I both own probably the Grail figure and have made a 112 version of it as well. The Blitzway Antonio Banderas Zorro is, you know, like to me, it's just figure perfection. I love it. Like,
just came right back around to the.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of 6 scale stuff. I used to have more, and I sold them off, and you know, it's because I started sort of customizing in that scale because I made a Daniel Craig Bond actually. And then I picked up a custom John Wick, and then, you know, I made my own John Wick in 112 scale, and that was kind of how it all started for me. That, and I was trying to make my own custom Jim Henson Ninja Turtle heads to go on some pre-existing Playmates bodies that were like based on the movie, but they were kind of clunky and stuff. And then the NECA ones came out. And anyway, so yeah, I think like I think
from there we went.
Yes, down the rabbit hole. I think the Blitzway Zorro, because it's like the rarest, hardest to get. Like, I couldn't just go buy another one. And it's a figure I didn't know I wanted until they made it, and I saw it announced at San Diego, and I was like, "Oh my god,
this might be the best thing I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah, and then I made a 112 scale version, and it's one of my favorite customs I've ever made. So, yeah, that's my girl. What about you?
So I kind of half have it. It's Wally West. He's right there.
Yep.
It's the knockoff Mezco because I wasn't getting Mezcos back then. So his
sure.
emblem's reversed and it's shitty. And, you know, like it's just not as good. So I mean, honestly, I've been meaning to like take him apart and customize it, but it was originally a Barry Allen figure. I don't know if you remember this back in the day, but it came with a very specifically, obviously Wally West head. And I was like, I'm gonna buy that figure just to throw away all the other head sculpts and keep that one head on there.
Oh, so it was a Barry Allen Mezco made, but then they were like,
it's a
and
Barry
if you want
Allen
it to be
Mezco,
Wally,
but if you want it to be
pop this
Wally,
head
you
on?
could put this one head sculpt on it.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
So the head sculpts, I mean, again, this is a knockoff. Oh, well, first of all, the body, just the worst. They weren't crushing it back then. This the belt doesn't come around. You gotta kind of you can kind of do it. And the emblem's backwards, but this is the Wally West.
Was this an AliExpress version?
This was like I don't know. No, I just got it on. It was before I even knew AliExpress existed. It probably would be an AliExpress kind of thing. It was just on eBay, but it was, you know, clearly from a third party knockoff.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Okay.
Like I knew it wasn't the real. It's not like I bought it thinking it was the right Mezco one, but like that one, like even if you look now, he's $350. Like it's ridiculous expensive, and I'm like, ugh.
I'm surprised they haven't done a re-release.
I need to get like a custom suit for it. Yeah, I wish they would. I need to just get a custom suit for it and get a new body, because even the body, it's like it's not like it feels like it's kind of Mezco-y, but it's got like, you know, lack of oil or something in the joint, so it's like creaky joints, and it's horrible.
I've got a couple of the Mezco with a spelled with Mezko, right? I bought them for parts because, you know, like you could get whole outfits and stuff, and you know, you buy them on AliExpress and they were like $25. So
well, we haven't been talking about the news for a while, so
oh, there you go. But
go ahead, Jan, sorry.
You know,
what's that?
You can easily make a custom out of that. Get a red bodysuit and
oh yeah, I know, yeah. And there's a guy. I mean, there's a dude I was paying attention to on like eBay. That's, you know, you just look up custom Flash bodysuit. Like, there's a good one. The emblem's printed on, the belt's printed on, so it doesn't have that mess. Yeah. And I'm like, I could do that. I could just get that. You know, I don't know why I don't. I really should.
The same guy I got my blue bodysuits for my Superman.
Probably. Oh, most likely. Yeah. He's got the one. He does all the Superman suits and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the guy.
What body would you suggest for a Wally West or a Flash body?
That's a good question.
Like a Noda?
Noda, the problem with the Noda bodies, they are the most like anatomically correct, realistic ones, but they don't have like alternate forearms or lower legs for boot and gauntlet swap outs. So you have to drill through the boot and then, you know, sleeve the leg into it and hope that it's big enough to do that with. Sometimes you have to shave away pieces of the leg to make it fit. That's going to connect at the shin. Those are like Mezco style.
These connect. This is shin, and then he also has the forearm isn't tight.
Yeah,
it's like from the lightning bolt down, it's plastic. So
yeah, I think you could use probably the NW Toys body is going to be like but those have like this massive chest, so that's kind of a difficult one too. Because Wally's kind of lithe, right? So he needs that.
He is,
sort of
but he's also, I mean, this one's pretty built.
Yeah. Well, that's the older Mezco. They had the really wide shoulders.
Yeah, they had.
They've kind of reined it in. V Toys put out this really slim body. It'd be too slim for the Flash, I think, but it does look good and it has the different connectors.
I gotta make that might be my first foray into fully customizing a figure, because I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah, you might have to go V Toys with that one. It's the best proportion and it has the right kind of attachments, I think. Yeah. Although that one, because those connect lower on the legs, you might have to actually, you know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to take the pins out, basically, like.
Oh, Ibrahim is frozen. Letting him know, guys, in the chat here. He just wrote, No. All right, well, we'll see what happens there. What are you guys saying? Oh, that was old. What's up, Phil? Oh, hey, Mechanics. Yeah, I plan on getting this one too for the suit and crypto. Oh yeah, that's the Superman we were talking about a long time ago. Oh, kind of back.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna reload the page, but I was like, it seems to be kicking in.
All right. Yeah. You were saying take pins out or something.
You might have to take the whole lower leg out and use the one from that knockoff and put it onto a new body. Maybe. That's the way I would do it. Yeah, because it's not going to line up otherwise. That's where it gets hard. Is when the parts aren't compatible.
That might be beyond. Well, just in the sense of like one of the worst joints on that is his hip joint, like is one of his leg joints. But I mean, maybe if I took it off and popped it on,
it would have to be below the knee, pretty much. I think you would.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's different. Yeah. I was gonna ask you. I mean, well, let's put this up again. Look at some of this stuff. Look at that Lex you made. It's amazing.
Thank you. That was just a pretty easy one. I used an existing body and suit, and I took the head from a McFarlane figure and repainted it, and then I had to do a different neck and make the neck compatible with that body. That was the hardest part, but I love those ones where you can just like kind of mostly do a head swap and it's like, there it is.
And you're like, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about, but I saw you put up that mailbag video. I was going to say, like, are you going to customize the emblems on the robots? But you already are.
I was going to, and then that guy hit me up and said, hey, I have stickers. And I was like,
that's awesome. I mean, like,
how cool lifesaver. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So you're replacing your suit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate the one I have, but Mezco's is going to be like official.
Is it painful to to buy a new suit when you spent all that work and effort making something like that?
It is, but also like I've had this one now for a while. Like I think I made it. I'm trying to remember when it was. It's been almost a year, I think, since I made it. So, and I've changed it a bit. I replaced the head and the boots recently, and I did a new S shield on it. But I've enjoyed it for a while, and I may keep it. I have other bodies, so I might just make a new one with the Mezco suit and then pop another one of these heads on it. So I probably will do that because there's no reason to dismantle this guy.
That's fair.
So
what's your parts bin look like?
It's pretty pared down. I had like when I first started, I was customizing NECA figures and I would just buy any cheap NECA stuff I could find because I just wanted to have all the parts I would need. Once I got into soft goods, that changed because you can just get the specific outfit from eBay or whatever parts I need to make the specific outfit.
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
And then just kind of do it that way. So I try to go as needed, and the only thing I buy ahead of time in larger quantities are the bodies when they become available because I don't want to not have them later when I need them
to make something.
Yeah, this was cool. He sent me that kryptonite and the robot stickers, and then another friend sent me that ghoul set from Fallout.
Yeah. Are you a Fallout fan?
I've never played the games. I don't really like first-person shooters, but I loved the show.
I didn't really play the game either, but I thought the show was fun too.
Yeah.
I have nerd friends that are like, you got to watch their show. It's just like the game. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'll take their word for it,
right? Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Oh, yeah. All right. So, the sculpting in general, like I don't even know where to start. Where do you start? You just started messing around with the program until you felt comfortable and started sculpting?
Yeah, so there's a program called Blender, right? And it's a free open source 3D sculpting or digital sculpting program. And I downloaded that a couple of years ago, and I did 2 head sculpts in it. And I picked it up pretty quick because it's pretty user friendly. But where that one fell short for me was it didn't have a lot of options as far as texturing. Like if you wanted to do like skin texture, you have to do like mapping, and like you almost have to do like it's like low end coding, you know. And I was like, I don't know how to do all that shit, and I'm not about to like become a coder for this, you know. And a friend of mine told me about this program for the iPad called Nomad Sculpt, and it functions very similar. Oh, thank you, dude. Yeah, I'm excited to put my head.
Townsend said the Mezco soup is going to look great with an Ibrahim head sculpt on it.
I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, I'm probably still going to repaint theirs just to see what it looks like, but I'm definitely going to put mine.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like a horrible skull. I mean, it's hard to tell, but like, I mean, maybe when we get it in hand, however long.
I will say I'm very particular about Superman's hair, and the way they did it is I don't like the hair on the Mezco one, so that'll be a deciding factor.
I like the way you did halfway between like he could have just been flying and it's a little tussled versus like perfectly clean. I don't know. There's a weird measure in there.
That's how
there's a fine line to cross.
Yeah, I think that's how Superman's hair should look. I don't like it when it's like, you know, they reset a new frame and it's clearly been slicked back,
and it's like slicked back again. Yeah.
Yeah, like especially that scene where the guy throws the can at him, like it's very clear that they just combed it, you know, whereas before that he was like in the rubble and stuff. And I get very annoyed with that because I'm like, his hair does that naturally. You don't need to like do a little ringlet like with a curling iron, you know, like and I hated that Henry Cavill's hair does that naturally, and they just combed it out. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, what? Just let his hair do. He has the perfect Superman hair. You just combed it out. Yeah, it's a little insane when they do that.
But you know, with the Mezco one, you can also I could add some clay or some, you know, yarn to it, my little yarn hair trick that I do. But yeah, so with Nomad Sculpt, it's very similar to Blender in the way that it functions, but adding textures is very easy. You can literally just make a texture from a JPEG in that program and then turn it into a brush and then just brush it on. So
that's way easier than describing. Yeah,
definitely.
That's awesome.
So yeah, you know, the learning curve was less steep for Nomad because I already knew how to use the brushes for the sculpting in Blender, and then some of its functionality is similar to like Photoshop, which I've been using for years. So that between all that and a couple YouTube tutorials, like I pretty much got it down pretty quick. So from there, you're just starting with a sphere and stretching and pulling and adding stuff to it until it looks.
Were you overlaying over a photograph or anything like that to get?
Yeah, definitely. You can see it. Yeah, and the photo from his profile, you can see.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I see that there. Yeah,
yeah. So that was my main guide. Was like I would pull the slider.
Oh, you
back.
Even got the tussle on the back, but over his ear.
Yeah, he has that, and
fantastic. Good job.
Yeah, I think Hot Toys might be doing that, but nobody else has. So I thought that was important to do.
Yeah.
The thing I'm still trying to learn how to do is proportioning the inside of the head correctly to fit on different neck pegs and things
bodies.
Like that.
Of course, it fails again.
So that's a challenge because you're taking these organic shapes and trying to make them fit with an inorganic, rigid, you know, kind of preset thing. So
that's interesting. Okay, all right. And you also did you did the animated Superman as well, right? The head sculpt.
Yeah.
You say you're selling those?
Yeah, I did
a small batch.
I did a small batch. I still have 3 left for the one that fits with the Mezco Man of Steel Superman, like their more recent Superman release. So I made some that fit with that and some that fit with the V Toys body. Because I wanted people to have options, you know, and they're different skin colors, so I had to do it that way. But yeah, I've got 3 left. I think I made like 18 of them in total. So, and I haven't really. I need to like put a post out again that says, "Hey, I still got some of these," because I sort of
like get rid of this. Get rid of these other.
Yeah, I kind of had to move on to something else, and then I forgot that I had them still, and you know. But it was
save one for yourself for when that other Superman comes in.
Well, I have I the prototype one is the one that I kept for me. That's like you see in those photos.
Right. Gotcha. Right.
So yeah. And then I need to make some of the movie Superman available. I printed them up. I just have to paint them and, you know, augment them so they fit on the McFarlane figure. Because that has a super long neck. So yeah, it's a whole thing.
Speaking of a Mezco I would buy in 5 seconds, it would be that Robin from the animated series. Like, I'm just like,
yeah,
they make that.
I hope they do it. Dude.
100%.
I know they have an aversion to making Robin figures over there, but
and yet why?
I think
Like,
the head guy, Gomez, I think is his name, right? Or Mez.
Yeah.
Like, I think he doesn't like Robin as a character, is what I've heard. So it's just his own personal thing. Yeah.
1,000 years ago when I mean, it was like when they had maybe Sovereign Knight Batman had just come out, or maybe the later one, the Dark Knight Returns, essentially, version that they made. Came out. I was literally like just up late one night. And I was just like, make Robin already. Like, I literally just sent an email, and they just responded with like, we did in the 5 points. I'm like, that's not good enough.
Come on, that's
like,
a cop out.
And it was like 3 months later that they were like, or I mean, it's like 6 months later, but they were like, listen, we're making Damian Wayne Robin. I was like, finally. Like, and I was like, fine. But,
I did make a custom Robin a couple years ago, and I traded it to. It wasn't a commission, but I had this friend who had the Nightmare movie Batman, the BBS version, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll trade you that for a custom Robin," and I was like, "Done." So that was a pretty fun one to do because it wasn't one I wanted for myself, but it was one that I wanted to see how I would make it, kind of thing. And that was a fun one. I made a staff for him that was magnetized, so it came apart into two things where you could click it together. That was pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll find the post and send it to you. It's deep down in my feed.
It's deep.
Yeah.
Tim's my favorite Robin. I wish they would make Tim. I don't have high hopes. He's the often overlooked Robin. So like, you know, I'm not like holding out hope for that. But I mean, they made Damian and Nightwing and Red Hood, so like maybe there's a chance. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Tim, I feel like is a lot of people's, like, he's like the underdog, but a lot of people like who are big Robin fans, he's their favorite.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best one.
Yeah. What did you think of did you get the McFarlane Batman or Batman Forever Robin figure?
I almost did. I here's the thing with the McFarlane stuff. Like, there's as much as I love DC, I don't know. I mean, like, so I love Marvel and DC the same sort of, but like DC is what I grew up on, and that's like it'll always be on a pedestal for me, you know.
Same, yeah.
But so I those movies, I like the movies. The McFarlane's being 7-inch just like through it just changes everything. I have like a peppering of them throughout my toys, but like mostly it's from people buying it for me, going like, hey, I thought you might want this Batman toy or this Robin toy or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I've barely bought any McFarlane's. So like,
same. Yeah.
I don't think Mattel is gonna now that the license is going back to Mattel, like I'm not like excited, I guess, but I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm hopeful, I suppose, in terms of like a lot of their Masters of the Universe stuff is really good recently, and like maybe they're gonna do a good job, but they're not gonna be nearly as prolific as McFarlane unless they really change how they're gonna do stuff. But like,
yeah,
you know, I just don't see that happening.
So McFarlane toys are part of my toy DNA. Like,
yeah, just from like when they were statues.
Dude, when those Matrix figures came out, that I was a freshman in high school, and I remember I had like a video game magazine or something with an ad for the McFarlane Neo doing the cartwheel, and I was like, you can do that? Like, you can make them look like that? Because that's what I've wanted my whole life. I've always wanted toys that look real and not this like blocky bullshit where, you know, like the proportions are weird and they're bow-legged. And so, like, I remember, you know, the Playmates Movie Star Turtles, when those came out, that was the closest thing I had to like what I wanted, because I wanted them to look like the movie, and I didn't get them until NECA made them when I was like in my 30s, you know?
Yeah.
So when McFarlane doing that, I remember being bummed by the fact you couldn't like articulate them, but the sculpt was so good, right? And they continued making that kind of stuff for years. And then when they started getting into like the more articulated stuff, they made Call of Duty figures and they made Game of Thrones figures. Both had phenomenal sculpts, but they were like a small 6-inch scale. And I was like, you know, and then they made the Stranger Things, which I think were, I can't remember if those were 7-inch scale or not. But this, so they were on this.
I feel like those were a little bigger.
I think they were, yeah. I think they were 7-inch, but since they were kids, they seemed smaller or whatever. But
yeah, right.
So they were on a run of like, okay, really great sculpts. The paint was chalky looking, but that's okay. You know, like we're getting articulated stuff from McFarlane. This is so cool. And then he got the DC license, and like they were much more toyish than I thought they were going to be. Like I was so pumped. And I got their Mortal Kombat 11 figures. I loved those, but like McFarlane does this thing where it's like they sculpt the whole figure and then they add in the
and then they stick joints.
Yes,
yeah,
and then make some taller and stuff, right? So they're lanky.
Yeah, and well, there's also like they all have the big ball joints at their wrists and ankle.
Yes.
Like there's something about that first Batman that came out had that weird abdomen cut. I don't know if you remember this, but it was almost like the shape of the bat symbol. Like it was like a weird cut. And I was like, what in the world is that? And I was like, so I wasn't like super hyped about it. Also, I had just gone like when Mattel used to have it, I had like every single one of those DC Universe classics. And like, I had like a massive collection of that stuff. And I had like kind of sold it off over the years and been like, okay, I don't need any of this. I just want to get Mezcos and just do like a very concise, you know, version of my collection that I used to have. But when McFarlane started doing it, I was just like, if it would fit in with the Mezco ones, I might get one here and there, but it just doesn't. So I'm just like, I don't, you know, like I'd already kind of moved on.
Yeah, dude, his ego has gotten in the way of them making better stuff, right? Because
it has gotten better over the years, though. I mean, like they started adding all the cloth capes recently, and like over the last couple of years, and like they've started doing a lot of better stuff. And I'm like, oh, that'd be great. That's a holy grail for me. Is the Starman from the 90s with the trench coat and the long
the goggles and yeah.
I love that run. That James Robinson run on that book is phenomenal.
Yeah, Tony Harris doing the art on that.
Yeah, Tony Harris. Yeah.
So I think the McFarlane figures are great, right? I do think that their limbs are too long because of what we just talked about, and I think their sculpts are usually really strong. I think that, the scale is a problem, and it's because he wanted to have the biggest figures on the shelf, right? Because his ego is the biggest on the shelf as well. And I think, you know, he's all about making money, and I think the way he's made those figures was a good way to do that. I don't personally have issues with
putting out a billion Batman figures is a way to make more figures. I get
and everybody goes, "Oh, we got to get more stuff," and then they buy all the Batman figures. So it's like, dude, you know,
like you're doing exactly what you're yelling about.
But I do think that I'm sure there are people who work for McFarlane Toys who have better ideas and have better ways of doing it that he just won't listen to because it wasn't his idea. I promise you that's the case, because that's how guys like him are, right? And then he gets in front of the camera and goes, "Oh, I got a cool guy, comes a cool card on him. Look at I could do this with him." And,
oh my god, you're channeling him pretty well.
Somewhere he's like, his eyes went white and he just like left his body for a second.
Yeah. All right. If it's not Superman, who's your favorite comic character?
Man, I don't know. That's a really good question.
You don't have a number two?
I have. There's a lot that I like, but I'm trying to think. Like,
all right, who's your favorite comic book team?
Well, I think character would probably be Batman, because that'd be the one I read the most of, right?
All right.
But I mean, there's also a lot of stuff that I love to read that's like independent, or you know, like
that could be that's allowed to be an answer.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to think of what they are, right? Because you know, there's a series called Black Sad I really love. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like the art is really great. It's like it's like animal people, but it's like noir PI type of stories, and they're just beautifully painted and drawn. And
That
it's
sounds
like,
super fun.
yeah, it's a former like Disney animator, so it kind of looks like that era of Disney, but they're not like little animal people. They're like, Black Sad is like a black cat in a suit, and he like wears a trench coat, and
Maybe I do know that.
it's
sounds
very
familiar.
like 1950s kind of vibe to it. It's really dope. And
Okay.
there's been like 5 or 6 volumes of that, so I really love those. I think
Townsend just said Green Arrow.
Green Arrow, yeah.
just right away. Green Arrow.
I think my
All right.
favorite comic book team is probably. It's interesting. I would have to say the X-Men, but I don't read X-Men comics because they're so weird and different from the version of the team I like. I want the cartoon version of the team.
You want X-Men like 97.
Yeah, and I guess
But
they
in the
do make
comic book
comics with
form.
that. Yeah, but if you read an X-Men comic right now, they live on Mars, and like none of the characters are like as you recognize them, and it's just like
They don't live on Mars.
Well, you know what I
Anymore.
mean. It's like it's gone all, and they're like.
Well, it's
Hickman
Krakoa.
is
I mean,
such a-
I think the Krakoa stuff is done, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's done.
Is it? Yeah,
All that Krakoa stuff stopped, I think, and they're priming the audience for the eventual X-Men movie because they can't be doing all that weird shit when people start to read those comics.
This the challenge with the comic book title is they put somebody on it who's really good at storytelling, but their sensibilities aren't what jive with you, and so you stop reading it, and then it's like, well, now I just don't get to read that thing I like anymore because unless you buy into what they're doing, and you can, and like I'm. There's something for everybody. Obviously, you can always go back and reread stuff, but yeah, like a lot of times these things just don't recognize the version and like, and so you're like, they lost me.
Yeah, they're missing it. They're missing something.
Yeah.
What got you into comics?
Superman.
Yourself, your dad, your brother. You have a brother?
I know. Well, I do now. Yeah, I have a half brother who's overseas who I just met. Like a couple years ago. Yeah. Great kid. He's 16. He's very he likes comic characters. He's very into movies. He wants to be a filmmaker.
Cool.
So we talk a lot about movies, but I used to, my parents would rent me the Superman movies as a kid. And and so the Chris Reeve Superman movies, specifically Superman 4, by the way, which is my favorite one. And I will do a TED talk on why that's the best.
That's
Superman
the hill you're gonna
movie.
die on.
Yes. People,
I'm listening.
It's great. It's great. It has everything. We don't have time for me to.
We don't have time for that.
Deep dive on it, but one day I will do a video on it where it's like my video essay on why it's
good to know.
But I will say, a lot of people, because it was a canon movie and they cut the budget and they reuse a lot of shots of him flying toward the camera and stuff, people go, "Oh, that movie sucks." But if you watch it, I think it's a better Superman story than 2 and 3, I would say, and honestly better than 1. I think it's the best Superman story.
3
is Richard Pryor. And
Richard Pryor, right? Yeah, okay.
4 is he's trying to rid the world of nuclear weapons. And
no.
Lex Luthor uses that against him
for peace.
Yeah, and there's a bit in that movie where Lex Luthor creates a sort of clone of Superman using a strand of his hair.
Where did that idea come from?
I don't know. Yeah,
James.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we won toys for the week and comics, kind of.
Hell yeah, dude. What about you? Favorite comic book team?
Comic book team. I mean, probably the Justice League, just because I love all those characters. And specifically, I mean, well, on that note, very specifically the Morrison run from the 90s, because I love Wally West, I love Kyle Rayner. I love a lot of those 90s characters that stepped up into the minor roles, I suppose, of the group. You know, while Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman are still around, you got Wally West and Kyle Rayner and like some of the, and Connor Hawke, Green Arrow was at the time. So I love that run a lot. But also Wally was what got me back into comics when I was like 13, 14. I mean, not that it was a huge gap or anything, but I was like, I didn't really collect. I just kind of like bought whatever I wanted to buy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there was a certain period of years where we weren't really going to the comic shops a lot or whatever. And then like at some points, I was just like, I should probably just buy one character that I like a lot. And Tom, my older brother Tom, was just like, well, why don't you just pick something that you used to read when you were little? And I was like, okay, Flash. So like and then like the very first issue I picked up, I was like, love this character, I'm in, kind of thing.
Was that the Mark Waid stuff?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Mark Waid. I mean, my name is Wally West and the fastest man alive. Like that opening line, like Mark Waid coined that, and it was awesome. And they use it for the show because that's how good that line is, kind of thing.
They've used a lot of Mark.
Except they changed it to Barry Allen.
Yeah, the symbol means hope. That was Mark Waid. That was Superman Birthright.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They mine a lot of his work. Mark Waid's run on Wally was fantastic. So it was around. It was later. I went back and got everything, but it was later in the run. But I think Linda. No, it was. He had like a big arc or something, and Linda Park, his girlfriend, now wife, and mother of his children in the comics, was kind of his lightning rod. He was like lost in time. He was trying to get back, but his memories were fading and he couldn't remember her name. And he like kind of he's looking a little scraggly. He's got like a beard. And like whenever they draw stubble on a superhero, you're like, oh man, it's desperate.
He's going through it, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, that kind of thing. And then like, he's like, I can't remember her name. And he like has like a freak out moment. And some guy like another Flash from the future walks up and goes like, her name's Linda. And he like kind of like re-solidifies, like he doesn't like dissipate into the time, thing. And I was just like, I don't know what that is, what this is about, but I'm totally in, like that's anybody cool. That loves somebody that hard. I don't know. It was just, it really hit hard with me. And I
gotta go back and read that stuff. I've never read any of that. And I know it's just like it's a lot
some really good stuff back there in the Mark Waid run.
Yeah. And I think they've started to finally put it out again now that he's back at DC. So I should try to track that down. I will say, I think Justice League is the team I read the most, but the X-Men just has that like nostalgia factor for me.
I'd probably go like, if I wasn't Justice League, it'd probably be like Teen Titans or something like that. Because again, I'm a Robin fan and I like all the kids, and like I'm just like love it. Let's see what they're doing. Whether it's Titans with like Nightwing or if it's Teen Titans with like Tim or Damian or something like that, I'm usually love it. Yeah, there we go.
We did it.
We did it. We did toys and comics. All right. Thanks, man. Oh wait, you got muted. Still nothing. Those old microphones. Let's wave goodbye. Aloha means hello and goodbye. Anyway, Ibrahim Moustafa. There you go. You're back.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me, dude. This was fun. It's good catching up.
Yeah, man.
Hey, go to that Kickstarter link, people, please, and
go to that link in the description. Kickstarter. Hit notify me. It'll just help. It'll help them.
It'll help a lot.
But also, I mean, check out. I put your YouTube channel down there also, and your website. So, like, go check out his other stuff. Go check out his toy stuff on YouTube.
Much appreciated, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
We will. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next time, I guess. Let's do that. Let's get out of here.